Good evening, everybody. Today, this video is not about any particular topic or any chapter or anything. Today, this video is about a very casual talk I'm going to have with all of you. So, this video particularly I'm making for my parents because I want to reach out to my parents. And most of the time, the videos which I make, they are meant for students. But yes, of course, there are many videos in my channel which can be equally enjoyed and viewed by parents. Now the thing is, why there was a need for, why did I feel it that I need to talk to my parents? Because I thought that let me talk to my parents, because this year 2020 has been such a bad year for all of us, for the obvious reason, and the reason is COVID-19 pandemic situation we had in 2020. And it's a great news that we are coming out of it, and almost we have got a victory over pandemic 19, COVID-19. So, and in the beginning of this video, I want to make a point that that even if something very bad happens, even if we had to face the toughest of the challenges, so we can we can learn and we can take away a positive thing out of that. So when I look at myself, so I do ask myself a question that what can I take away from the 2020 where everything was so bad. So the thing which I can take away from 2020 is that now I'm very easy go with making videos and making lectures, and now online classes are going out there. But that's always a good thing to have your topics, your chapters recorded, because if some student gets absent for some time, for some reason, so that student going back to his home can always play that video and can have his doubts clear. So that's the biggest thing for this, and that's why I'm not going to stop making this lectures, video lectures. I'll be doing it, and I'll be doing it more rigorously. I'll be doing it, so that I have learned. Now I'm very comfortable going to our next level, and I feel more comfortable in getting my talk and lectures and topic recorded than, and though I equally enjoy and teaching, going in the class, which is I'm a, I do a whole lot of activities in my class. So that is one thing. Now I take care of two classes, class 11th and 12th. So for class 12th, exams are supposed to be conducted in the month of May, so we have still time. I'm not going to talk about that. I am going to talk about class 11th. So class 11th, almost the session is over, the academic session is over, and they are going to have their exam in the first week of March. And that's why I want to say that, I want to say means what? I want to see that going back in the month of March and April when the lockdown started, that what I have done for this complete session for class 11th and class 12 children. But here I am going to talk about mainly about class 11 children. And that's I said in the beginning of my video, that's this lecture I am going to talk with my parents, because there might be some question into the mind of the parents that the year was really so bad, like some 6 to 7 or 8 months the classes were getting conducted online. So really what does has our children, has our child got some really quality education in that? So there's a lot of questions into the mind of the पेरेंट्स, एंड दैट्स वाई आई थॉट कि चलो एक वीडियोस बना के हम पेरेंट्स में बात करता हूँ. सो दैट इज़ फॉर दिस रीज़न. Now I tell you, so this academic session, what I have done, I've been into this teaching profession for a long time, but what I have done this time, I don't think that I had ever done with so much of experiment, with so much of new method, with so much of strategies. I have never done into any academic session in the past. And now that's the point is I'm going to discuss what I have done for class 11 for this complete academic session. So whenever I go to class, like whatever the class I go to, I have 4 things in my mind. I have always 4 things in my mind when I go to a class. I see, the first point I see is, I do take care that the communication skill, the communication level of my children, it must improve. So communication skill, I take care of this. Second thing I take care of is a grammar, because in this modern time, what happens, the grammar is getting neglected, which is not a very positive and good sign. Third thing is called the objective English. Objective English, I take care of NDA written exam and for the SSB. So in NDA exam, what grammar comes, that is objective grammar, right? And what I talked of in the second point was the grammar. And the fourth thing comes as the textbook. For every class there is a textbook prescribed by the board. So for class 11th we had two textbooks, that is called Snapshot and Hornbill. So these four things I take care of. I take care of communication skill of the students. I take the functional grammar, I take the objective grammar for the competitive exams like NDA, and then comes the textbook, that is Snapshot and the Hornbill. So these things. Now let me start. How do I go about my communication skill going in my class? So when I go, whatever I do, even if I talk something casual, like talking about like what did the student do on the weekend, how did they study, where did they go on Sunday, like what games do they play, for all this stuff, when I do even a casual talk, I do in English. Whether be it I'm explaining grammar, I am there English, I'm into English, I'm being in English. I'm explaining them some literature chapter, I remain throughout English. But yes, 70% of my explanation I keep myself in English. But then again 30% I have to take care of that student. It might not happen that some of the student has not understood it at all, and that's why that 30% part I put it in Hindi, and sometimes I keep myself bilingual. So this is how I do my communication skill. I don't do it as separate things. Yes, I do a lot of activities. Second thing is about a grammar, the functional grammar. So this time, for every class, a particular grammar thing as a syllabus is prescribed. But when I think that, if I am going to teach only the grammar which is prescribed in the syllabus, so somehow their knowledge of grammar is going to get compromised, and that I want at no point of time that my student should ever compromise on academics. And I tell you, when I remember the months of going back, March and April, when the lockdown started and I was taking the classes online, so I made a very big statement to my student that student, you take care and make a note of it, that and take a very good care of your notebooks, that by the end of this academic session you would find that the value of your notebook would be more than any grammar book available in the market. And that I have done it, and that I have achieved. When I look into the notebooks of my students, I feel really how have I taught so much of things, because I have started teaching them grammar from as basic as called person, number, gender, cause. I started teaching them from as basic as called where to use do and does, where to use was and were, where to use has and have, where to use speak and speaks. I gave them verb forms, 500 verb forms. You take any topic in grammar and that topic is there in my notebook. I have done so much with my students. What I have, I won't say that I have done. My students, allowed me to do so much because they were doing. So anything, I taught them a very basic topic called parts of a speech. All parts of a speech, definition of parts of a speech, noun, all members, types of noun and pronoun and verb and adverb and adjective, preposition, conjunction, interjection, determiners, everything I have taught, everything I have explained, and their types I have also explained. I have also explained the toughest grammatical topics and chapters called the clauses, the non-finites, the modals, the conditional sentences, active and passive, and narrations, everything I'm telling you. And yes, of course, you can anytime you can confirm these things, that what I'm saying, because this thing I'm going to upload in the channel, so this will always be on record that I said these big things, I made this big claims. So really all this thing was done in the class or not. So parents से मेरा ये है कि अभिभावकों से है कि मैंने जो इतनी बड़ी बड़ी बातें मैंने यहाँ पे चैनल में कर दिया, ये बातें ज़रूर जो है आप अपने बच्चों के साथ पूछ के और ये बातें कर लें कि वाकई ये सारी चीज़ें क्लासेस में हुई है या फिर सर ने यूं ही जो है ना कि मतलब इतनी सारी बातें कर दी. तो ग्रामर में आई हैव डन दिस मच. सो कम्युनिकेशन स्किल की बात मैंने कर ली कि मैंने कम्युनिकेशन स्किल का मैं कैसे ध्यान रखता हूँ. ग्रामर की बात मैंने कर ली कि ग्रामर फंक्शनल ग्रामर में मैंने फंक्शनल ग्रामर की बात करी. उसके बाद फिर आता है मेरे लिए जो सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट मुझे लगता है कि बच्चों को होना चाहिए, वो होता है objective English, competitive English, because I take good care of my students and I see that they are very comfortable when they go and prepare for NDA exams, NDA written exam, and that's why whatever comes into the NDA written exam, whether it is spotting errors, whether it is vocabulary, synonyms, antonyms, phrases, whether it is comprehension, whether it is jumbled sentences, any kind of sentence which comes in the NDA paper, I have done that. I have started. Still, I won't say that it's completely done with the objective English, but I have started. I have brought them on that track. They have got that much understanding that how they should go about it. और फिर लास्ट का जो फोर्थ जल्दी पार्ट आता है जो कि सिलेबस का बुक होता है फॉर एनी क्लास, द बोर्ड प्रिस्क्राइब्स द सिलेबस फॉर क्लास 11th वी हैव 2 बुक्स, हॉर्नबिल एंड स्नैपशॉट. सो नाउ अभी मैं थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे ये बताऊँगा कि किसी भी लिटरेचर चैप्टर्स को मैं कैसे पढ़ाता हूँ, हाउ डू आई टीच एंड हाउ डू एक्सप्लेन and how do I go about that literature chapter. Suppose any chapter is there, so first day going to the class, I narrate the complete story in English throughout, and into that narration it might go for 20 minutes. I do not use even a single word of English. I do not use even a single word of Hindi. I remain throughout English. Now you might think, sir आपने तो throughout English समझाते हैं, तो क्लास में तो कुछ ऐसे भी बच्चे होंगे जिनको इंग्लिश समझ में नहीं भी आता है. तो ऑन द फर्स्ट डे I remain throughout English, and the second day going to the class, the same story what I explained the previous day, yesterday, the same narration I go in Hindi, throughout Hindi. And from the third day I started teaching them from the book. So this is, and for each of my literature chapter there is a recorded video, which the way I am talking to you now, this is getting recorded. So the similar way I have I have my recorded video, so that even if they miss it and sometime before the night of the examination, if they want to have it once again, that what was taught, what are the ideas, what are the themes, what are the characters, what are the plots, so anytime they can play it as per their own convenience in their own space and time, and they can always understand it. And then comes the question answers. तो ये 4 चीज़ें मैं अपनी क्लासेस में बच्चों के साथ कराता हूँ. These 4 things: communication skill, functional grammar, objective English, which is that competitive grammar, and then the textbook. So these are the things I am doing. So parents, ये वीडियो मेरा particularly parents के लिए था, और फिर से मैं उनसे मैं यही कहना चाहता हूँ कि इस बारी तो मैंने इतना एक्सपेरिमेंट करा और इतने स्ट्रैटेजीज़ मैंने अडॉप्ट करे, इतने नए टेक्निक्स मैंने लेके आया कि शायद इतने सालों का जो मेरा करियर है उसमें शायद इतना एक्सपेरिमेंट मैंने नहीं करा था. और इतना एक्सपेरिमेंट मैंने नहीं करा था, तो मेरे लिए मेरे बच्चों के लिए, मेरे सेक्शंस के लिए ये दिस हैज़ बीन, आई वुड से, द बेस्ट एकेडमिक सेशन. तो बस यही बातें करनी थी. और कहीं आपको जो चीज़ें अगर लगता है कि मैंने जो है कमेंट्स, आप यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम टू गिव कमेंट्स, ड्रॉप अ कमेंट, हिट अ कमेंट, ताकि चीज़ें जो है मतलब ऐसे ही मैं आपके साथ डायरेक्टली बात कर सकता हूँ. और अगर किसी पेरेंट्स को ये भी लगता है कि सर से मुझे बात करनी चाहिए और सर का जो कुछ भी है, तो एनी टाइम यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम, यू कैन गिव मी अ कॉल. या फिर अगर आप अपने बच्चे को भी कह दें, वहाँ से अगर मुझे नंबर भी मिल जाता है तो ज़रूर से मैं आपसे मैं फ़ोन करके मैं आपसे बात करूँगा. बस यही मुझे बात करनी थी. Thank you for all your support and for all your cooperation. Thank you.